Hello, and we are back with our series, How to Make a House a Home. And we left off talking about organization and cleaning your house. So I just wanted to add one more little point on the organization part. I thought about it. When you are cleaning out your closet, a rule of thumb is if you haven't worn something in a year, you need to get rid of it. Um, if something is in there that has a stain on it or a hole in it and it's your favorite thing, you're allowed to have like one or two favorite things, but the rest of that you need to get rid of. And I know that's hard sometimes because sometimes you have that comfy shirt. But like I said, you're allowed to have one or two. But you can't have 1,000 comfy shirts in your closet with holes in it or stains on it that you wear around the house because nobody needs that many, right? And then also, like when you're doing laundry, if you're folding it or hanging it up and you see that it got a little pinhole in it from the laundry or whatever, you need to go ahead and put it in your, well, those you actually need to throw away. So, because you don't want to give that to Goodwill. Nobody wants a shirt with a hole in it, right? Or nobody wants a shirt with a stain on it. So, anyway, make sure you clean out your closet, and you will be so surprised once you get rid of that unwanted clothing how easy it will be to get dressed. And another thing, when you are getting dressed, and I know sometimes it takes me 2 or 3 tries to come up with the right outfit, but if you put on something and you go look in the mirror and you think, this looks awful on me, go ahead, get rid of it. Put it in the get rid of pile. Don't put it back in there thinking it's going to look different on you another day, because it's not. So, and clothes are really hard to deal with because, it's just hard to let go of them sometimes. But if you'll do that with those rules, it makes it a lot easier to do. So anyway, that's the end of our organization part, and now we're going to get into the fun part. We have our house clean, we have a schedule for cleaning, we have our house organized, we have a schedule for that. And so now what's left? It's all the little doodads and odds and ends that you have sitting around your house. Everything you have in your house, you should love. If you walk up to an item that's sitting on a shelf, just say, and you pick it up and you look at it and you don't have instant love for that item, you need to get rid of it. There is nothing worse than a house full of just knickknacks. I mean, and they're just everywhere, and nothing has a meaning to it. Nothing it's just stuff that you've accumulated and you've set out. So you should have genuine love for every piece that is in your house. Everything that hangs on your walls, everything that sits on your shelves, everything that you eat off of, drink out of, you should love it. It should get you excited when you look at it. And I know to a lot of y'all are thinking, well, it's just stuff. I mean, that's kind of crazy to say. You should get excited when you look at it. You should love it. It's just stuff. And I know it's just stuff, and I'm not saying you should love it like a person, but you should really enjoy looking at it and being with it when you're in the room. And you shouldn't look at something and go, I am so sick of the same old thing sitting around my house, blah, blah, blah. So anyway, that's what I'm trying to get across. And if you will have things in your home that you truly love, you will love to come home. End of discussion. Where if you just have a bunch of little things that you got to dust all the time that you really don't care about, then it's more of a chore coming home because you're looking at all this stuff. It needs to be cleaned. Ugh, it's collecting dust, and it just makes life hard. So, go through your house, pick up each item, and ask yourself, do I love this? And if you don't, put it in your Goodwill pile. Okay, now, people ask me, well, how do you figure out what to put in your house? How do you know how to decorate? I don't know how to do that. That's really hard for me. And Haley says it's a real struggle for her, even though she does a wonderful job. But she has commented before saying, you know, you and Kayla do it so easily and so quickly, and it's so pretty. And she said, it takes me forever, and I have a really hard time. Well, I think probably the reason I find it fun and enjoyable and I love to do it and I find it easy is because I have a vision in my head of what I want my house to look like. And everybody needs to have that vision. And even if you can't visualize it, a lot of people can't visualize. Even if you can't do that nowadays, you have at your beck and call a computer. You walk around with a computer in your hand all day, your phone. There is just so many venues to go to where you can look at the different styles. You can look at how, just say, okay, well, I think I love the farmhouse look. Well, all you have to do is go to Instagram, Pinterest, Facebook, type in farmhouse decor, and it will come up with a million things for you to look at. So if you can't visualize it, then you need to go to those places and look at what, and look at it and think, well, is this really what do I think this is beautiful? And if you don't, well, then pick another style. There's so many styles out there. You've got farmhouse, mid-century modern. Let me think. I'm losing. Let's see. What are some of the other ones? There's so many. It's hard to. Oh, okay. I wrote a list. French country, and that is got a lot of checks and florals and yellows and reds. Sometimes it's blue and white. It's just a real kind of country elegance. Then you have farmhouse, and if you just go to HGTV, that's what they're doing right now is farmhouse, farmhouse, farmhouse. It is a lot of white on white, cream on white. There's always gray involved somewhere, and anyway, it's on everything right now. And I mentioned mid-century modern. And if you will go and watch an old Rock Hudson Doris Day movie, that's mid-century modern. And the style was a very classic, kind of glam, kind of sometimes cottagey. It was a really neat style, and so that's always fun. Then you have the industrial look, where you use a lot of metal, a lot of industrial light fixtures, and just check it out. Like I said, look it up, and you'll kind of get an idea of what I'm talking about. Things that would be in a warehouse type setting, kind of lofty. You have coastal. It has a lot of stripes when you do coastal. Blue and white is one of the favorite colors. And it has like nautical items. It's a very serene and calming look. You have the shabby chic, which I also love. It's a lot of pastel colors, a lot of furniture with paint that it shows, you know, kind of peeling paint, a lot of ruffles and materials, soft materials. It's a beautiful, beautiful style. That's one of my favorite. And then you have the bohemian look, which is bright colors, a lot of red and purple put together, a lot of fabric on fabric, and kind of a hippie-ish style. It's real fun. And then you have eclectic, which if you don't like any of these styles, or you like 3 or 4 of them, you mix them. And when you mix them, your style is eclectic. So, and I guess if I had to pick what my style was, it would be a mixture between old world, country cottage, French country cottage, and farmhouse. I love, oh, and shabby chic. I love all those. And so mine is a very eclectic mix of all of those. And if I just had to pick one, I guess I would call it country cottage. But I have decorated with plaids and florals, a lot of reds, a lot of yellows, and it's just a real cottagey feel. The things on my walls are real cottagey. I have roosters and beautiful old plates, old world plates. I have pictures that are very old world, and so it's a I guess I would have to say country cottage would be my style, if just looking at my house. So anyway, pick your style. And if all that just freaks you out and you think, okay, well, I'm just stopping right here because I can't pick a style and that's why I'm watching this. Do this for me. Think in your head, if I could live in any house in the world, what would that house look like? If I could be anywhere in any type of house, whether it be a mountain cabin, a house in the French countryside, a house on the beach, a New York loft apartment, if I could be anywhere I wanted to be, what would that look like? All right, just think of that picture in your head and then write that down so you'll remember that. And then you can go from there. And, you know, of course, we're still talking about sight. So, one of the first things you're going to do once you figure out what it is you love, and really, y'all, I want you to love it. That's the whole key to making your house a home, is love. And I know a lot of times you can't love the city you're in where you live. You can't love the neighborhood you're in where you live. Sometimes you just don't have a choice where you live. And, you know, you think, well, I just don't love it here. So I'm just, you know, I just can't do this. But it doesn't matter where you're planted. You need to love your home. Whether your home sits in the middle of a dump or your home sits on a country hillside surrounded by daffodils, you need to make your house your home, and you need to love it. And you can love it by caring for it inside and around the perimeter. So that's what I want you to do. I want you to really love your home, and that's what makes a house a home, is the love that's in it and the love that you put into it, the thought that you put into it. So let's clean out those closets, walk around the house, look at all your stuff. Is it a dust collector or do you truly love it? And then pick your style, whether it's a popular decorating style or something you just have in your head. Let's figure out what it is you love and look at the websites that I talked about and get your brain straight with all that. And then next week, we will begin to talk on how to achieve that. So y'all have, well, not actually next week, this week. We're going to have another one this week. But y'all have a good night and have a good day tomorrow. And we will see you in a few days.